everybody. Welcome to my Facebook Live. Thank you for joining me, either now live or on the replay or on YouTube. Hope everybody's doing well and starting the week off great. Happy Tuesday. I was off for a couple weeks, didn't do Facebook Lives for a couple weeks. Did some fun stuff. My cousin came in from Chicago to visit, so we went downtown and did some things in San Antonio. And then the next weekend, Rick and I flew to Chicago to celebrate Emmeline, my granddaughter's first birthday. There was a big party at Nicole and Brian's house, so that was super fun. But we're back home now. I think it's officially summer in San Antonio. The weather this past weekend was absolutely gorgeous, sunny, 85. Today was a little bit hotter, but I think tomorrow we're getting back to more normal temperatures. It was 95 today, so that was a little bit hot. I hope y'all are having good weather where you are. It's also Fiesta in San Antonio right now, which is a big event that lasts about 10 days. And there's just events and parades and all kinds of stuff for those 10 days. So happy Fiesta, San Antonio. I have my official Fiesta t-shirt on that I can show you. It's very colorful. And pink, one of my favorite colors. I also made a little Fiesta card to celebrate Fiesta. And I thought this stamp was really cute. It says Fiesta like there's no mañana. I actually had to get that set from eBay because that is a retired set. But I thought it was colorful and fun. So again, happy Fiesta to all my San Antonio friends. All right, who's ready to get started making some cards? I've got fun cards tonight. I've got some good Easter cards that we're going to make. Easter's coming up pretty quickly. I also have some fun things to talk to you about tonight. So we'll get going right away. I'm going to go ahead and turn my camera down and start showing you what we've got for tonight. All right, I think that looks pretty good. Okay, so news with Stampin' Up right now. Hold on one second. Let me just see if I'm coming up on Facebook. Okay, let me just open that up bigger. And that looks pretty good. Uh-oh, hold on. I gotta turn my volume down. You don't want to hear me twice. Okay. All right, so Stampin' Up has a new annual catalog that's coming out May 3rd. As demonstrators, we get a copy early, and I'm super excited. This is a really awesome catalog. Can't show you what's inside yet, but this is the cover of the catalog. What I can show you is I went to an online event on Saturday with Stampin' Up, and because I joined that event, they sent me a free stamp set. So I can show you one of the stamp sets. And this is the one that I got, was the Bottled Happiness stamp set. And this looks like it's really going to be fun. So here's my virtual swap card that I made for the event and posted online. So that's kind of a fun card. I can't wait to play with it some more, especially because there's a bottle punch that you can get with this set, and then shaker domes in the shape of the bottle, and some effervescent elements, which are kind of like a light aqua, little beads to go inside, and I think it's going to be really pretty. So I can't wait to get the rest of the set so I can play with it a little bit more. Anyway, that's all coming up, so that's very exciting to get all of our new products in. Today we're going to be making our Easter cards with products from the mini catalog, and this catalog goes through June. The things we're going to use today are the Easter Friends stamp set with the little chicks and the bunnies. And then the other set that we're going to use is the Daffodil Daydream stamp set. And this is also great for Easter, Mother's Day. It's a really nice stamp set. So these are the cards that we're going to make tonight. We have a Warm Wishes card with the cute little duck and the little chicks. We have a Happy Easter card with the bunny and the purple. We have an Easter Blessings card with that daffodil set that I showed you. And then I just made some little tags to go on a little cutting board with little bunny etched into it that I got at Hobby Lobby for, I think it was under $2. So let's get started on our cards for tonight. And we're going to go ahead and start first with the card with the little chicks. So I'm going to pull everything out. The first thing we want to do, we're going to do a little bit of watercoloring. So we want to do that first to kind of give it a chance to dry. A little bit of glitter on there, probably from the glitter ribbon. So let me just get a little scrap to put underneath it. And this is really super simple. What I'm going to use are these water painters, and it's just a paintbrush that has a little compartment for the water, super easy. I'm just going to take a Stampin' block, and I'm going to start with Balmy Blue, because to me that's like a nice light blue that kind of looks like the sky. So I'm just going to put some ink on my block, just like that. Okay, and then I'm just going to squeeze. There's a little thing that says push here. And I'm just going to squeeze till I get a little bit of water out and kind of mix that up to get that nice light blue color. And then I'm just going to go straight across. Just kind of messy. Just kind of making a little bit of sky for us here. I might have to get a little bit more ink. See if I can scrape off the edges here and get enough on there. I think that looks pretty good. It doesn't have to be even or anything. So we're just going to call that done. And the next thing I want to do is the same thing with the Pear Pizzazz, which is a nice light green for kind of the ground. Let me get out a baby wipe to kind of clean everything off. Okay. I'm going to clean off my brush first. I'm going to clean off my stamp. And then we're just going to do the same exact thing with the Pear Pizzazz on the bottom. My little table I pulled out got stuck. Okay, so I'm just going to ink that up and do the same thing with the water. Just a little bit more. Okay, good. Make it nice and easy, nice and wet, nice and light, and just kind of go across for the area where the grass would be. And I think that's it. We're just going to call that done. So I'm going to put that aside and we'll let that dry. Let me just clean off my brush. Nice and easy. And that part's finished. Clean off my stamp, my block. Okay, that part is finished. So I think the next thing we're going to do is we're going to stamp our little friends onto just plain white cardstock. And so we're going to stamp, where's my, hold on, let me just put my other card here so I can see it while I'm doing it. We're going to start by stamping this little duck, who I think is just adorable. Now, I'm not going to lie, I had a little bit of trouble with this stamp set because if you can see the way that the stamp is shaded, if you do it in the Memento, it gets really, really dark, and I tried doing it in other colors, and it got kind of smeary. I'll kind of show you some of the other, see, these were some of my other experiments, and they didn't really come out too well with color, and not really crazy about that. So what I landed on was using the Memento, but stamping off first so it wasn't quite as dark. So I'm going to ink it up in the Memento. I'm going to stamp on my scrap first, and then I'm going to go ahead and stamp on my cardstock, and then it's a little bit lighter color, and then we'll color it in. Now I'm going to do 2 of the little chicks. And we're going to cut these out, so it doesn't matter where on your paper you stamp them. All right. And one more. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and stamp one on the inside of the card. So let me pull that out, and I'm just going to put it in the corner. Same way. Just like that for the inside. Okay, now as long as we've got things out, let's finish our stamping off by doing our sentiment. And this one says, sending warm and happy wishes this spring. So I'm just going to use the Memento black ink for that as well. Let me just make sure that looks pretty good. That was a test stamp. All right. Okay, there we go. All set. Now let's do some coloring with our blends. Okay, and the one I chose to color these little ducklings in is the Daffodil Delight. So I've got the dark and the light, and I'm going to start. I like the brush tip when I color, although I'm always not that neat at staying in the lines. So I'm going to start with the light and kind of do kind of an all over coloring. And then I'm going to just, in the shaded parts, I'm going to use the dark. And then I'll blend it in again with the light. It's almost a little orangey with the dark, but I still think it looks pretty good. So just in some of these shaded areas. And then I'm going to kind of blend it in. And I think that looks really cute. And then for the feet and the beak, I'm going to use a little bit of the light pumpkin pie, kind of a light orange, and I'll use the regular tip for that, because these are pretty small areas to color. We'll get the little cheeky feet done. All right, and now let's color our other friends. And then there is not a die set that goes with these, so we are going to cut these out. I'm going to try and color these in a hurry. And I could have pre-cut and colored some of these. I probably should have, so you didn't have to watch me color. But I'll try and be quick and get these guys done. So we had so much fun in Chicago for Emmeline's birthday. She really enjoyed her party. It was super fun. It was a baby shark theme. And Stampin' Up, when I first started with Stampin' Up, which wasn't very long ago, they had a baby shark die set and stamp set. So I made her a cute little baby shark card for her birthday. And Nicole made us all matching t-shirts that said, you know, I was Grandma Shark and Daddy Shark, and the whole family had shark t-shirts. This one I'm doing exactly the same way as the little chickies. So that was fun. And then they had someone who came dressed up as Baby Shark, which was super fun. And they had a ball pit. Now, it turned out the weather in Chicago, what a weekend for weather. It hailed, it snowed, it was cold. So they had cleared out the garage, and they had the ball pit set up in the garage, which ended up being perfect. And they had a little heater in there. So that ended up being perfect. And all the kids had a really good time that were at the party. So that was fun. Okay, almost finished. Just blend this last bit of shading in here. So I think Emmeline really enjoyed her party. She's at that fun age now that she's just one, where I feel like she just enjoys everything. Okay, got to do the feet and the beaks. Whoa, I went out of the lines on that one. I think I'm better off, even if it's small, using the brush tip. I don't do as well for some reason coloring this. Okay, so there's our orange. And I think our little guys are done and ready to be cut out. So let me just close up my markers. These blends, if you've never used these blends markers, they are so nice. You don't get those lines like with markers where you can see like the coloring lines. They just blend in really nice. They're just super nice to work with. So we're just going to cut out these three and just leave a little bit of white space around them. And these are nice, easy shapes to cut out. Nothing really difficult about it. I think Alexa's trying to talk to me. Hopefully she's not going to give me any messages. There's one little chickie. That didn't take long. I tell you, the flight to Chicago, too, is so easy. It's just nice and quick. It's sometimes 2 hours and 15 minutes, 2 hours and 20 minutes. Just super nice, quick flight. Makes it easy to go back. All right, one more, and I think that's all the cutting we're going to do for the whole night. So hang in there for a second as I just get this last little guy cut out. I think these chicks are really cute little stamps. The bunny, I think the bunny has a really cute face. I wasn't 100% sure on the bunny, but I think I like him in the circle like we put him. And I love the purple colors for Easter. If you guys don't have that Highland Heather ribbon, oh my goodness, it's so sparkly and such a beautiful shade of purple. You really should get it. That's one that's being discontinued. So as we get a new catalog, they discontinue a lot of products out of the old catalog. So, and a lot of them are discounted on sale right now. So at the end of this video, I'm going to kind of go over with you some of my favorites. I picked like my favorite top 12 items that to me are like must have, must get products, and I'm grieving for some of them because I'm going to be sad without them. Of course I have them, I'm just not going to use them as much because, you know, if I'm showing you guys stuff that's not available, well, that's no fun. So we'll go over that too. Okay. All right, done cutting. So we are ready to start putting our card together. And this feels like it's pretty dry. So we're going to add one more thing at the bottom. And we have this fun little grass stamp. Uh-oh, hold on. It says my video is interrupted. Okay, it looks like we're still good. Okay. I don't know why I got that message saying that the video was interrupted. Okay, so let's get back out our Pear Pizzazz. And we're just going to put some of those little grass stamps just in random places right on top. You want to make sure that this is fully dry so it doesn't bleed at all into what we've already put down. Okay, so now we have some real grass in there. And so then we're just going to take some dimensionals and pop up our little friends onto the card. So let's put the duck first. And we're going to kind of put him kind of off to the side a little bit like that. And then we'll just put the two little chicks kind of seeing what's going on, kind of following along. And put that one there. We have one more. This little guy can go right there. Very cute, right? And now let's go ahead and put our sentiment on, and we'll pop that up as well. And we'll put this over here, like that. And then we need a bow. One of my favorite ribbons, the white glitter ribbon. And this is carrying over. I'm not sure if you can get it right this minute, but I know this is a carryover that will be, I think, in the catalog, the mini catalog that comes out. I think it's in July, maybe. You know, that'll be for Halloween and Christmas, that catalog. So I think this is going to carry over. And I hope so. I stacked up a little bit because I really love this ribbon. It's one of my favorites. Although I'm having a little trouble with it right now. It's a little stiff. Okay. Big bow. Let me just trim off the ends a little bit. All right, where's my scissors? All right, and we'll just use a little glue dot to put that onto the card. Right in the corner. And then we'll just, I'm going to use seal to put down this part of the card. The paper gets a little warped when it's watercolor. And this paper is their special watercolor paper. It's called fluid watercolor paper, and this is 5 by 4 inches. And we just used our basic balmy blue cardstock that we always make the card bases with, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then I'm just going to center this right on here. Okay, and then just on the inside, we're going to adhere that also with some seal. And you could put another greeting in here if you wanted to, maybe something that says Happy Easter. I think what I did was I took a little bit of my Stampin' Right marker in the Pear Pizzazz again, and this one has just a little brush tip, and I just made a little bit of ground underneath for that. And that's it. Card number 1 done. What do y'all think? Looks a little bit Eastery, right? Nice and easy, right? That was an easy one to do. Okay. All right. Next, let's do... and also I wanted to point out on that last card for the sentiment, this really fun shape, I took out of the Stitch So Sweetly dies, and this is one of the die sets that's retiring that I'm really, really sad about, because as you guys know, I use this like every week. I use the heck out of this one. It's one of my favorites. So this one is going to be retired. It's a good one to get. All right, let's do our purple Easter card next. I'm going to move the pieces out. Some of my things away so I know where to find them. Okay. All right, this is another easy card to make. Okay, so let's start with our stamping. And we'll stamp the bunny first, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to stamp off the bunny so his face isn't too dark. And I don't need to get the whole bunny inked up because we're just going to basically put the face in. And I'm going to stamp that off, and then right about like that. Okay, that came out good. So we have our little bunny, and then let's go ahead and stamp the sentiment on this one as well. And for this one, I just used the Happy Easter, and that's from the Easter Friends set right there. And that's it. Oh, I got a little bit of a black mark there. That's okay. Let's see if we can get that off a little bit in a little while, once it dries. So that little sentiment set I took from another one of my favorites that's retiring, is the Tasteful Label dies, and that was just this die right here that I cut out of the Pale Papaya. Okay. All right. So for this card, we're starting with the Highland Heather. This is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, and we're just going to put it this way like that. The next thing is I have this really pretty, this is another one of my favorites. I love this pattern and the colors in this. And this is from the Pansy Petals DSP. Lots of fun petal papers. It's got a bunch of different like pastel gingham and dots on the other side of the flowers. So this is a really nice paper set to have, the designer series paper. So I have cut this at, let's see, what was this one cut at? 5 1/4 by 2 1/2. Okay, and that's going to end up going here. I have a little bit of the Pale Papaya that's going to go behind it, and that's 5 1/2 by 2 3/4. So that's just going to go on top like that. So we can go ahead and adhere that piece right now. You can see the back of this one too with that pretty gingham, which would be another nice, that would look really pretty too, right? Okay, so that's going to be good. Now what I've done next is I have taken these border dies, and these are carrying over. These are the basic borders dies, lots of really fun shapes in this, and this is the one that I used. And I'm just going to show you real quick how to use this die. So I'm just going to bring over my little mini cut and emboss machine, and just a piece of the basic white cardstock, and I'm just going to put this down on here, right on the edge. And I'll show you how easily and nicely it cuts out the border. So I'm just going to send it through my machine. Easy breezy, right? So that's what we ended up with, the border. And there's little stitching along the edges, which is really pretty. So that's how I got this really pretty border on this white cardstock. So we're going to go ahead and just glue it to the sides right here. I'm going to kind of center it. So I'm just going to take my seal right along the edge right here. Make sure I have my stitch side on the right side and make sure that I do this straight. And it's a little bit longer, but I'm going to go ahead and cut that off when we get finished. So I just want about that much of the border showing. And we'll do it to the other side. Just like that. Perfect. Now I'm just going to take my scissors and just cut the edges off so it's nice and even with the pale papaya. Now you could measure it beforehand and then cut it. You wouldn't have to do this stuff right here, but either way it's nice and easy. So that's basically what we're going to put on the front of our card. Before we adhere it down, well, I think we can go ahead and adhere it down. Let's do that, and then we'll just put the ribbon on, going around the entire card. So I'm going to center it right there and put it down, and that looks really pretty. I'm going to take, this is the ribbon I was talking about, this Highland Heather. Look how glittery and beautiful this is. I love this ribbon. It's going to retire. Makes me sad. I bought extra. I want to keep it around. All right, just running it around the card and tying it into a bow right here. And doesn't that coordinate really nice with that paper? I mean, to me, it just screams Easter. I love it. Okay, there's our bow. Just trim this up a little bit. That was very uneven. My ribbon got a little bit wrinkled in the envelope. Okay, now let's just put the rest of our things down. Oh, we didn't color our bunny yet. Oh no. So I'm going to use the ivory blend to just add a little bit of shading for the bunny right here. I want to keep him predominantly white, but I'm just going to add the shading where they have the shading with the ivory, just to give him a little bit of color, a little bunny color. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to take a little bit of, this is light petal pink, and I just want to color little bunny nose, a little bit petal pink, very light pink, and maybe give some round cheeks here. And I'm going to kind of blend that in with my color lifter. Just kind of mute it a little bit so it's not, and that'll dry in a second and look a little bit better. Okay, now we'll go ahead and add some seal to put this. Now these are the stitch circle dies. These are carrying over, so these will still be around. And I just used, as you can see, the sizes that I used to cut out these. So I love the options. You can use so many different sizes. You can cut any color you want of things. So another one of my favorite die sets. All right, so there's our little bunny guy. Let's get some dimensionals and put him or her on the card. Right about there. And then let's just put our sentiment. Now let me see. I don't know if I can get that little black off, but I do have a little mono eraser. So it's a Tombow sand eraser. So let me see if I can make that any better. Remove some of that off. At least make it a little bit lighter. Or I may ruin it. We'll see what happens. Coming up a little bit. The nice thing about this Stampin' Up! Paper is it's solid core paper, so it doesn't have a white inside, so you can peel off a layer of that paper. And I think that's better. All right. I think I just put my dimensionals away. I could have flipped it over and done the other side, or I could have just cut a new one too. But let's put that right there. And that's it. So I also had cut out a little border on the inside, and the inside is the 5 1/4 by 4 inch, and then I just cut off the border there. So we'll put that inside of our card. because we've got a darker color cardstock, and I like to write on white inside of a card. And then I had another little scrap of the DSP, which was that can't be right. That's not it. Let me just see how big this was. I think it was like a 1/2 inch by probably 5. Hold on. It's a 1/2 inch by 5 1/4. So I'm just going to put that little strip on the inside right at the bottom here. Okay, that's the inside. So that is our second card, our happy little Easter bunny card. I hope y'all like this card. And we're ready to go on to our next card. So this card, again, this could be a Mother's Day card. It could be an Easter card. This is our Easter Blessings card, and this is a fun fold card. And I'm kind of getting stuck in a rut because I really like this fun fold, so I'm using it a lot, right? But it's a nice and easy card to make. And let me show you what we're using for this. So we're using the Daffodil Daydream, and we're going to use this stamp right here and color it. We're going to use the Easter Blessings, and we're going to use this little butterfly. Another one of my favorite stamp sets, and this one is, die cut sets. This one is sticking around, and this is the Scalloped contour dies. So as you can see, I cut this white piece out of the Scalloped contour die. The inside I did with the Stitch So Sweetly, but you could also just pick a different size of the contour for the inside panel of the card. Okay, so let's get out our pieces for this card. Lose anything. Okay, so this card basically starts just like the regular card, right? So we're cutting it at 8.5 by 5.5, and this is old olive cardstock. And then we're scoring at 4 1/4, right, like this. But then we're also scoring at 2 1/8 and folding it back over this way. So that's how we're going to get it to fold this way, okay? Once we've done that, I'm just taking a little DSP, and you can get this DSP in all the different colors. I started out with a little bit brighter yellow here, but I had also done this card for a swap, so I used up all that color. So I'm going with a little bit paler of a yellow. This almost looks like maybe the pale papaya. I'm not sure. Okay, so we're just going to adhere this to the inside of the card. So we'll put our big panel here. And this goes in just like the regular card. So this is 5 1/4 by 4 that we're going to put right in here centered. Okay. And then on this front panel, we're going to use 5 1/4 by 2 inches. And that's going to go on this front part right here. I'll try and line it up evenly with the top and the bottom. Okay, so far so good, nice and easy, right? Let's do our stamping and coloring. Okay, so this table is driving me crazy because now it's sticking out about 6 inches into my space. So, hold on one second, let me try moving this. Let's see if I can get it out of my way. Okay, it might require some engineering work. All right, so let us stamp. This is from the Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to stamp this in Memento. And this one is fine. I don't need to stamp it off, so we'll just stamp full strength. This is a big stamp. And I just kind of want to center it right about like this. Gets on there good. I think that looks perfect. And then we're also going to stamp the little butterfly in the corner right here. This is for the inside part of the card. Okay. And then we're going to stamp our Easter Blessings. Don't need this anymore. Onto this little white piece that's going to go inside our Stitch So Sweetly old olive cutout. And this is going to say Easter Blessings. I'll move this up a little bit so you can see it. Okay. All right, I think the stamping's done. Let's do a little bit of coloring. I might have said we were done coloring before. No, I said we were done cutting. Okay, good. I didn't lie about anything. Okay, so again, I'm going to use the Daffodil Delights. And I'm also going to use the Old Olive Stampin' Blends, which kind of coordinate with our cardstock. So let's go ahead and do the flowers first. I'm going to do one at a time. I'm going to color in the petals first. And then I'm going to follow behind with my, this is the light Daffodil Delight. And then I'm just going to follow behind with the dark. And I just kind of want to go down the middle of these, right? And then I want to do the absolute middle in kind of the darker color. And then I'll just kind of blend out the middle some more. And we're just going to do that for the other two flowers as well. What other colors do daffodils come in? Do they come in pink? Because that's one of my favorite colors. I'm not sure. Or I know they're pretty common in yellow. But I guess you could make them any color that you wanted, right? Alright, the last one, and this is the back of the flower, and there's actually a little bud too that we'll color. I think my Daffodil Delight's getting a little bit worn because I've been using it a lot. Okay, that's it for the yellow parts of the flowers. And so let's just go ahead now and do the stems. And same thing, I'm going to start with my lighter color first. Get all the stem pieces in the light. And I'll do this in small sections too, because it blends better when it's still a little bit wet. So I'm just going to do a little bit on just one side of the darker and then kind of blend it in a little bit. Just add a little interest so it's not just one color. All right. Hopefully this bottom part is going to be nice and covered up with our sentiment, so it won't show that it's kind of stamped off the edge a little bit of the scalloped. Okay, let's just blend that, and then we'll be done with the coloring for this. And then we still have to do our little butterfly, so we're going to do that in the yellow too. I think that looks pretty good. It's blended in all the way. Okay. Let's get the yellow back out. And this will be really fast. I'm just going to do light on the inside and dark on the edges. See how my tip's kind of bent there? I might have to end up getting a new set of these at some point. Okay, I think we're about ready to assemble this card. Okay, so on the outside now, we're gonna just add some adhesive right along here, and then kind of center it like right in the middle of the whole card, like that. Press that down. This other panel on the inside is going to be hidden, so if we put that just in the center, it'll be hidden when it's closed. So we can go ahead and put that in the center. Just like that. And then lastly, we'll do our sentiment. So I'm just going to put our Easter blessings right in the middle of our Stitch So Sweetly die. And then we'll go ahead and pop that up. Hold on, where's my dimensionals? There, put them away. That's crazy. And I'm going to kind of put it so it covers up kind of this bottom stem part right there. Okay, now let's just finish embellishing. So I'm going to use this Bumblebee yellow ribbon, and this is retiring. Love this ribbon, have used it to death. Ordered extra, I'm going to miss it. It's a great ribbon. Okay, so we're just going to do a bow, trim it off, use a glue dot. And I'll put that right on the corner. Oops. Okay. And then let's add some of those brushed brass butterflies. I love these. These are so cute. These are carrying over, so they'll be around for a little while longer. I think they're a really fun, nice embellishment. Just going to put one of the big ones up here. And I find these are a little bit difficult to get off, even with the Take Your Pick tool. And one right here. Okay, so that's it. That's our third card. What do you guys think? Nice little Easter card to send to friends or family. Again, could double as a Mother's Day card. You could do this in different colors. Doesn't have to be the yellow and the green. All right, one more project. So this next one we're going to do, I just made tags. I got these little cutting boards. I think they were less than $2 on sale at Hobby Lobby. Just really cute little cutting board, just for a little Easter gift for somebody. So all we're going to do is make some tags for these, nice and easy. The set I used for that, this is how they came, and I got it for like 50% off at Hobby Lobby, or it might have been more, it might have been 60% off. These are the tailor-made tag dies, so I just used the dies to cut out in the Highland Heather. There's that Pansy Petals paper again, and Pale Papaya. So let's pull those out. The other thing I did is with the Pale Papaya cardstock, I just cut one of the flowers out. For decoration. You can see all the pretty pansies in different colors. So here are our tags. Move these up so you can see them a little better. I am just going to add a little bit of glue to the back of this flower and just put it directly onto the bottom of the Pale Papaya tag, just like that. We're going to stamp Happy Easter on the Highland Heather tag. Okay. All right. And that's pretty much all the work we have to do with these tags. So I'm going to go ahead. Now you can just leave these loose if you want to. I like to kind of glue them down just a little bit so they stay in place. So I'm just going to I'm going to line up my holes for the tags and just kind of put it like that a little bit. So it's kind of tagged down like that. Okay. And then I've got the other one. I'm going to try and sneak underneath just a little bit of adhesive too. Line that one up so all the holes are lined up, and that's all I'm going to do with that. Okay, now I've used several pieces of the ribbon, same ribbon that we used, right? So I have a little piece of the Bumblebee gingham, I have a piece of the Highland Heather, I have a piece of that glitter white, and we are just going to tie all these together with this nice linen thread that's also available through Stampin' Up. So let me just make a little knot to tie all our ribbons together, and then I'm going to slide it through. Now one thing I'm noticing that I did, but I didn't prep for the class, is the tailored tag dies have these little, I know there's a special name for it, I don't know what they are, but you can see here, I cut one out in pale papaya and put it in, so you can do that too if you want to make your tags. A bow, and then our tag is all set. We'll just trim off the ends. Make the bow a little bit tighter. Okay. That's it. So our tag is ready. And then we can attach that, cut off the tag here, and just attach it again with the same linen thread right through that, and then we're all finished. And I mean, you could use this tag for anything. Well, I guess we're not all finished. I also added some of these embellishments, which I think are really pretty. And these are called Loose Flower Flourishes. And these are carrying over. And these are almost the same colors that are in the pansy petals paper, right? So let's just put some of those on. I'm going to use Tombow to attach some of these. So we'll just put a couple of those on in different places. And let's see, maybe. I like the way they match. I thought that was really good. You could put anything on here. You could put little sequins. You could put little rhinestones. Okay. So let me just show you the projects that we made tonight. Put my toys away. All right, so we have our cutting boards that we made. And we have our cards that we made, the Easter blessings, the Easter bunny purple, and then our little watercolor chicky cards. I hope you liked the projects for tonight. If you would like to make these projects, all you have to do is place an order with me of $35 or more, and I will send you the make and takes for these projects for free. And what that means is they come in a little kit like this. All the projects are in their little envelopes, right? Everything is pre-cut, die cut for you. You need adhesive, you need the stamp sets to go ahead and finish off, and of course the blends or any marker that you have to do the coloring. Okay. Code, and this is the host code this week. That way I know that you want the make and takes, and I'll be happy to send them to you. Let me just run over a couple of quick things with you, and then I'll show you the cards that I have for next week. Reminder, Paper Pumpkin, I have a project measurement and supply sheet that I do every week when I make my cards. So it has all the measurements, all the products that we used. If you would like a copy of this, just email me at sunshineandsparklestamping@gmail.com, and I'll put links up for this stuff on my business Facebook page when I'm finished. I have a list of the last chance products and the ones that are on sale. You can see there's significant discounts on some of these products. If you would like a copy of that list, email me and I'll send you the list of what's on sale and what's about to be retired. And then I just wanted to briefly go over kind of my top 12 must-have retiring projects, and I'll go through it quickly. Some of the stuff we've already talked about, like the Stitch So Sweetly Dies, one of my absolute favorites, super versatile set to have, right? This is another one that I just am in love with, and this is the Stitch Stars Dies, and I'm really sad this is retiring because stars are so versatile. You can use them for anything. It's got some swirls in there. I have a little example of a card that I had made with it, just a nice, I think I made this around the 4th of July, just a nice little celebrate card with those dies, and you can see they're stitched. I love when they do the stitching on the shapes. I just think it looks so pretty. So that's a super good die set to have, and that is 20% off right now, so that's only $30 for that die set. The Bumble Bee Trinkets, now this is fun because these are just little gold bumblebees, and you can accessorize. Look how pretty they are. You can accessorize your cards with these little bumblebees. And those are 20% off right now too. So it comes with more than this in a pack. I have used the heck out of this. How many come in a package? it looks like 20. Okay, so that's a really fun thing to have. I ordered extra of those because they're just so pretty. The Pierced Blooms dies, this is another great die set that's about to retire, and it's got all kinds of different flowers and leaves that are pierced, which I think are just so beautiful. Let me show you a card that I made with that. That's actually going to be one of the cards we do for next week. So you can see I did the different colors. This will be a card that we'll make next week on our Facebook Live with these Pierced Bloom dies. Aren't they pretty? I just love that set, so I'm really glad I have it. That is a last chance set. You're a Peach Sweet Collection. Now, this has been one of my favorite sets from when it first came out. Used the heck out of it last summer, right? Sweet as a Peach stamp set and the die set. I'm going to show you some cards with it, but these are not my designs. These are all designed by my upline, Deborah Harrison, and she is an incredibly talented designer. And she designed these peach cards, and I made them all that she designed because I just loved it so much. And look at her creativity, how pretty those ended up being. Good set to have. Get the dies, get the stamp. Look at this cute little box she made. And then inside, this was a fun gift, just to give little peach treats, right? So some peach little candies, a little peach, so many things over the summer that she had designed, and I just loved it. You should get it. The paper, I just got an extra set of the paper because I want to have it. Look how pretty these papers are, and the colors, and the other side even with the patterns in the blue. This is a must-have set, I feel like. Okay, Tasteful Labels dies, that's another one that we talked about, really good for putting sentiments on. Pansy Petals, DSP, we kind of already talked about that. We used it tonight in the project. Here's a card that I made. This is a birthday card fun fold with the Pansy Petal Suite. You can put a gift card in there. So that's with the Pansy Petals, and you can see I stuck one of those little bee trinkets on there that are really pretty. Acetate card boxes. I'm going to be so sad without these boxes because I used the heck out of them this year. I used them for Halloween to put the little eyeballs in. I used them at Christmas to put the Christmas M&Ms in. I used them for St. Patrick's Day to put the gold coins in. So I'm going to really miss this set. These are on sale right now. They're 20% off, so they're $4.80. I think you get a set of 10, and these are just really great, easy boxes. I love that they're see-through. You can decorate them and see what's inside. So I'm really going to miss those. Highland Heather ribbon. We've already talked about that beautiful sparkle ribbon. You should get some of that. That's on sale 40%. The Bumble Bee Gingham ribbon, 20% off. The In Color jewels. Now, these In Colors aren't retiring, but these jewels are. And these match the pretty In Colors right now. So the Pale Papaya and the Polished Pink. So this is a good set of jewels to get. These are 20% colors. They have a set of In Colors that retires every 2 years. This is from 20 to 22. These are the colors. I will miss them. The Misty Moonlight has been a great color. The Magenta Madness. This one is the Bumblebee, and this one I used all the time, Cinnamon Cider, especially. I don't know what color I'm going to use for gingerbread now that one's going to retire, and the Just Jade. So anything, the cardstock, the stamp pads, the ink refills, get your In Colors before they retire from this year, because these were really good colors. Okay, well, thank you all for joining me tonight. Let me show you the rest of the cards we're going to make next week. I showed you this one, the Happy Birthday card with the Pierced Blooms dies. This one is super fun. We're going to make, again, like I said, I got stuck in a rut with this fun fold card, right? But this is the bubblegum machine, and this is a super fun shaker card that we'll make next week. I like that one. And then we're going to use the Cactus Cutie set and make a little cactus card that says, "Hope your day is on point." And this is another fun stamp with the little kites, very summery. So we'll make this birthday card next week too. So thank you for joining me.